Hello, I'm John Proxy on channel John West. I'm having a witness adventure. The Witness, that's what it's called. It's a Jonathan Blow game. And I'm sure a bunch of other talented people obviously worked on it as well. It's episode 8, and I've only just found what I would consider to be the tutorial area. I've also noticed, well actually I didn't notice, my brother told me, that if I go into load a game, it tells me how many I've solved. I've solved 78, he solved 222. However, right, I have to take like half an hour break after every episode so I can burn it off and put it on the internet. So it's actually slowed me down considerably. And also, I've only just found the tutorial episode, the area, sorry, it's not an episode, is it? It's an area, it's a sort of treehouse of fun. And obviously I'm burning through these now, aren't I? So let's do a few more, shall we? So I've got to separate the whites from the blacks. Like so, and put the stars in pairs. So it's nice and easy. Like, literally nice and easy. Not that, nice and easy is from Clairvoyant's hair stuff, so not literally, but you know what I mean. Yeah. What are you doing, John? The colours swapped around and it confused me. And that's in pair. Right, that's in a pair. Hang on, how do I grab that last one? Oh, of course, yes. Right. Yes, I must remember that I don't necessarily have to keep the blacks and, you know, the dots together. Hang on, what have I done wrong there? Oh, yeah. I know I did wrong. Let's do this. There we go, that's the solution. They don't necessarily have to be grouped together like the stars. Stop changing the colours, it just confuses me. Hang on. No. No. Yeah. Oh, I'm almost at the other side though. Has to be something like that, doesn't it? No, can't be that. Let's wind ourselves back. What about this? There we go. Look at that. Is not the solution. Did I do that before? I know that's wrong. That can be grabbed, right? That can be separated off. But if I do that, that can't be. So it looks like that's the solution, but that gets me all the colours, but it doesn't get me all the stars. So then the temptation would be to go downwards, like so. Hang on, how do I block that second path? Well, I'm going to come back to that. I know there's another series around here somewhere. That's not one I'm going to be stuck on for very long, to be honest. These sorts of puzzles, I know the solutions. That's the best thing about them. I know how the puzzles work now. Okay. Yeah, so many of my resolved puzzles come from just this place alone. Right. So yeah. So they've got to be in pairs. How the hell do I put these in pairs? Can they be grouped? Of course they can be grouped. I've got to keep that in mind though. Yeah? No, they can only be grouped. John. That would do it for these four. I have to touch the wall to be able to group them. Right. It's annoying. That is a solid line for cutting them like that. What's a solid line for cutting the other side? And then I sort of combine them. That's a solid line for cutting the other side. Right? Don't get out the pen for this, John. What was the original solid line? No, it obviously wasn't that. It doesn't make any sense. Was that? No, hang on. Something like that. Maybe I'm thinking of this wrong. I am. It can't be vertical. The solution, the exit's at the top. It'll be horizontal. So, speaking like that, there we go. 1. Ah, there we go. 2. See how I figured that one out? I actually clearly explained myself once. This looks somewhat familiar. Again, let's think of this in terms of vertical, horizontal. Lovely. All of these have to be... Hang on. Yeah. They all have to be like that. They all have to be... So stop trying to swipe up and down. Swipe left, right. Right. Other side, maybe. Yeah, because that can put you back on the ground. Bollocks. Right. Then I do have to think up and down. I was trying to get clever there and it wasn't working. No, because look what happens there. Can't be that. I would have to... Yeah. Again, same with that. That doesn't work. It needs to be left, right. Ah, can't believe that was viable. It is as well. I was about to say I would never have thought of pairing them like that, but you know, I literally just did. But right, it's introduced a third colour. John, almost there. There we go. God, these tutorials are really useful. Oh, next game. Right, yeah, see, they're easy for a bit until they're comfortable with introducing the third colour to me. Feels like I'm nearly at the end though. Nope. Got cocky, didn't I? Especially when the solution was so simple. Yay! Other side. Right. I keep fading in and out because I'm cooking at the same time. I've got like 25 minutes downtime in between every episode. I may as well eat between them, which means I have to cook during one. Right, let's look at this. Do I have all the information available to me? Oh, it just looks like I'm making a choice, doesn't it? So, I choose between... that's not how that works, John. Where's the other wire? So I've powered something there. But there's another... There isn't another exit. How would that work? Right, let's go back. Not sure what's up with that. Right, I hated these before because I didn't quite get those ones, even though I had figured them out. I know that these have to go in boxes that contain just the number, I think. How does that even work? It works like this, but I can't do it from that side. That has to be there because it cannot fit. That cannot fit anywhere else. Apart from no. Does it have to be this? Yeah. Does it have to be touching that? Because if it does, that doesn't work. Unless it's there. It's like this. That's it. That's the solution. I get it now. Yes. The shapes are combined. Are they always combined? So... I mean, they can't be that. I mean, obviously that's not the solution. Backwards it would have been the solution, but forwards they won't let me. That's what that's there to do. It's to stop me from making that very obvious solution. So let's say instead it is... There's not a lot of leeway on this. Those two shapes can't fit together in too many different ways. Hang on. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Let's say that's there. Hang on. No. So this is a different game. This is you slotting pieces in. That has to be somewhere. Or maybe it's there. No, it's not there because it wouldn't be touching. They have to touch, so... Either, because of the nature of this game, the straight has to be there, or the L has to be there, which means at some point I have to have a line there and a line there. That has to be the final line, because after I go left, if I go right, I'm going down. Hang on, is that even possible? No, it's not, because I start on the left. So that, this piece, this here, that is the final position before end, right? Whatever happens, that is the final position before end. I can't, I think, like that, but that's obviously missing a bunch of stuff, and it's cutting a line. Right. Damn. Right, I still don't quite get those ones. I'm running out of choices of what puzzles to solve, though. Right, this is just the rest of the island. I was curious about the rest of the island, though. There's that mountain again, which I've got at least one laser going to. Perhaps there's more. There's this wreckage, which is going to have some secrets in. Let's go back into the treehouse. Now I'm going to have to, on the next episode, take the boat somewhere else, aren't I? Presumably that makes sense. Right back here. I don't have much choice here. Come on, John. Think about this. Use your brain. These two. How do I even get these two in the same area? I've encompassed, like, let's say the puzzle is literally just to put those two in the same area, right? I've encompassed them like this. I encompass them like this, which doesn't make any sense. Or I encompass them like that. So maybe I'm thinking about this the wrong way. Maybe I just want the shape to exist somewhere. No. They have to be involved in the shape. Oh, bollocks. That was so close. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. No. Doesn't work because I'm covered up. Oh, come on. That's the solution. I just can't put it in because it's not the solution. Oh. How would I end it there? That exit position. Be in this corner. Then I can solve you. That line there. God damn you, that line there. Hang on. Hang on. I'm ignoring that one. Oh no. Let's have a new idea. Wouldn't work that way around. Nope, it was the same idea. That breaks so many of my solutions. Damn that line. Right, I was trying to be clever and saying, right, well, what if it's there? And if it's there... Sorry, I've just got a message. Yeah. I'll come back to that. Is that the only puzzle left? I don't think that's the only puzzle left. I think I just keep missing whether the other one is. But there is certainly only two now, isn't there? Alright, I don't know why I left these ones. I was right at the end of these ones, wasn't I? I was having a really good go at it. 1, 2, 2, 2. That was so bloody close. Hang on. God damn. Bloody... I know. Right, this is definitely doable. What was wrong with that? Hang on, try that again. Right, those two are definitely separated out into pairs. Oh, damn it! You're not, why are you pairing them, John? They're not stars. You need to keep them separated, like that song. Time of Your Life by Green Day. Right, John, they're not... You just have to keep the purples and the orange separated and pair off these. It's actually easier said than done, but... Right, so I was massively overcomplicating that one because I kept confusing the rules. That is wrong, though. I know that's wrong, but it feels so right. No. Oh. No. No, that doesn't work. Nope. Damn. What the hell's that, John? So one... Oh yeah. Something like that. That's not paired off, John. That's where I'm getting these struggles from. They're not pairing off. How do I pair them off? Huh. Right. Pairing these off is remarkably easy, right? That's how I screwed it up immediately, but... Right, so that's paired like so, and I pair it like so. That's how I just, if I was just going to pair them, that's how I could pair them. That's one way I could pair them, right? So let's do that again. Let's just get used to the pairings. That's also a set of pairs. Yeah? Alright, so forget about the pairs. How would I split the colours up? That's simple as well. I do this. Right? So how can I do both at the same time? The stupid restrictions it gives me. Can't. Right. And I can't do that left-right thing I always do because the bloody things are in the way. And even that there. That little move stops me from cutting. I need to hit a wall. Right. To separate the three pairs, I need wall spaces to do so. The more I move along, the less wall space I have available to me. It has to be immediate. And that cuts something off. That cuts something off. But I can't encircle the oranges. God damn it. Is that my last one? Hey, hang on. I can move off this. I don't know if I'm supposed to be able to, but I did. Right. Yeah, let's move on. Puzzles I could solve again. Lovely. What was the difference between that and that? They're identical, right? Oh, I get it. They're the same colours. That's new. That's new information. Right, that's going to help me out. Right. So I need to... Ah, I'll send that message in a second. Sorry. Hang on, is this not exactly the same as the last one? Oh, I have to keep them separated? Oh, I don't get this one again. Hang on. White's... That's paired off. And white's and black separated. Paired off. White's and black separated. Paired off. White's and black separated, but they can share space with whites. That can't pair off. So it's either with the white or with the black. Neither is correct. I'm going to have to let you go very soon because I'm cooking. But I want to do this. I don't know what it means, so I'm going to have to I'm going to have to figure out what it means. Although I'm really glad the game said, you know what, you're close enough, just walk over it. Because I have no idea. Right. What? That doesn't even make any sense, John. No. Thought I was being clever there, separated them all out. It got paired off. I paired it off, I kept it separate. It doesn't need to be a star it's paired off with. Oh my goodness. Right, my food is pretty much done. I'm just keeping it in the oven. Which means I'm going to have to end this episode soon. But I get it, right? White has to be separated from green, has to be separated from purple. Those two need to be paired up. That's not going to work, I don't think, because, yeah, there's too many in that pair. Okay. Hang on, how would I do that? So I've forgotten what the colours do again. I've got to keep the colours separated. How do I do that and still have room for this? No. Why did I start in such a weird place? Oh, because I have to circle back, that's why. But that doesn't work because it leaves those two by themselves. Why does that work? Alright, no, I get it. The pair doesn't matter. The pair doesn't affect it unless it's not... Oh my god, I hate the stars so much. Yeah. The stars... If a single... Two stars, regardless, or a pair of stars will pair up and it does not matter what's with it. But if it's one star, then it needs the pair, and suddenly the colours do matter because it's takes on the properties of both the colour and the pair, because that's would be how it worked anyway, because it includes both. Hang on, how the hell do I even fit that in? Like that. Right. I get it. I get it now. Oh, something like that. Alright, I got it. No, hang on. No, you don't. You don't have to do that. Yeah, you do. Oh, but if I do that, I suddenly separate those two out. How the hell do I keep these two bloody... I don't have to. They pair up. And since they're paired, they don't need to be... Oh, come on, that made sense! No, it takes on the properties of both, John. That was almost it. Pair. Pair. No, hang on. Right, they're paired up. These just have to be separated. They... How do I keep those greens separated? I'm so close! To the point that I can walk... I could basically walk across. Only one more. And then I definitely have to let you go. Right. That's a pair. That's separate. That's separate. That's a pair. John. Sorry, that was a really obvious one. It's because it's really easy to mix up what needs to be paired and what doesn't. Hang on. Right. There we go. They're not they look purple, but as a pair, they're colourless. That's how you've got to think about it. When they become a pair like that, they're colourless. I know I said I had to let you go. But, as a pair, they're colourless. Yeah, I get it. I'm going to forget, but I get it. What's in there? What's in there? Okay. That's missing one. Why did you knock? No, it's not missing one. That's a pair. That's a pair. You can do weird things. Oh, bloody hell. Bloody hell. Pair. Ooh, that's interesting, isn't it? Huh. Why doesn't that link? What did I do wrong there? Yeah, hang on, what did I do wrong there? Those two can't be in the same area as each other. But that's a pair. That's surely what I want from them. I'm just going to do this to see what happens. No. I'm very confused, and I think that means I have to take a break. It's been a long episode, to be honest. Right, I've been John Proxy on channel John on the West. I've been having a witness adventure